to the Weird Kid Show. It's awesome having you today. So, back in 1978, I was 9 years old. And I had already, up until that point in time, was consuming as much horror as I could on TV. And a lot of what was airing on my favorite show, Creature Double Feature, was Godzilla. I absolutely loved Godzilla. So you can imagine, in 1978, on TV, I saw this.
The Shogun Warrior, Guy King with rocket boosters, Great Mazinga with rocket launcher.
Wow, Godzilla!
Is he friend or foe? You can decide.
Wow.
Launch his claw. Imagine his breath is a blast of fire.
Where's the warning?
The large Shogun Warriors and Godzilla. They're ready to strike when you are. The Shogun Warriors, Great Mazinga, Guy King, and Godzilla, each sold separately. Accessories not for use with smaller Shogun Warriors from Mattel.
My mind exploded because this was the first time that there was a licensed toy for Godzilla in the United States, okay? And I had never seen anything like that before, and I had to have them. I wanted them, you know? I looked every year when I was a kid. We used to get these Montgomery Ward Christmas books, Sears Wish books, and there were these real thick catalogs that you could flip through and you could order whatever you wanted. And I remember every year when that catalog would arrive around August, it was getting close to Christmas, and so we would start flipping through that thing and skip to the toy section, okay? And lo and behold, that same year I saw that commercial. I flipped into the Montgomery Ward book and I saw this, and my mind exploded again. So I was like, I asked my parents, please, out of everything that I could ever potentially get for Christmas that year, please let it be this guy. This is a 19-inch Shogun Godzilla, okay? I got this. Not this one, but I had gotten this for Christmas when I was 9 years old, and it was like my favorite toy. Now, they came out with many different versions of this, and it just so happens that I have the first edition. One of the ways that you can tell is underneath on the feet. It says 1977 Toho Company Limited, Japan. Okay, now that's the thing. The first runs were done in Japan, and then the second issue up to, I think there's 5 issues of this guy, were marked USA. Okay, so I've got the first one. And one of the other differences too is they did an enamel paint job on the teeth and eyes, and it's really vibrant, and his green is a different shade of green as other releases. And there's also counterweights that were put into this thing, so it gave him some weight. And then in the tail, I don't want to take it off to show you because this ships separately. When you got the box, which looks like this, the tail and the fist, which I'm going to get to that here in a second, were shipped separately inside the box. And so you had to take this tail and pop it onto the body, which is like a plug. It's a compression fitting is what it's called. And there's a tab on there, okay, that you popped it on, and that's how you secured it. And you're able to turn a little bit. I don't want to mess with them. This guy is in fantastic, I would say almost near mint condition for being a first run. The only thing on this one here, they painted the fingernails yellow, and on the tips on a couple of them there's some paint wear. But I'm fortunate because, first of all, if you find these out in the wild, like at a garage sale, chances are slim these days, but it could happen. It does happen from time to time. Or if you go in an attic and you find one of these, one of the common things with these is this lever here which this lever here, when you pull this lever down, it releases Godzilla's atomic breath. Check that out. All right, which is it's just like a vinyl piece but had fire painted on it. But I used to love that feature because he was blowing fire, you see. But this lever here oftentimes is snapped off. Okay, so you don't really have any way. And what they did later on is they fixed it after this first run and made some reinforcements, because apparently there was like consumer complaints that it was easily snapping off. Okay. One of the other elements to this Godzilla, now remind you, this was in the Shogun Warrior line, which was crazy because the Shogun Warriors were 24 inches tall, 2 feet tall, as to where their counterpart Godzilla was only 19 inches tall. Because he's in the Shogun Warrior line, which the Shogun Warriors, they had features like you could shoot their fists off, and they had rockets and missiles that you could fire. This Godzilla here has a spring action in his arm, and his fist shoots off. And that is cool, because I used to love that. I took the box that he came in, and I stood it up in my living room underneath the Christmas tree, and shot the fist at it, tried to knock it down. Had my toy soldiers out and was trying to shoot the toy soldiers and knock tanks over and everything else. You know, I had a blast. Plausible for Godzilla? No, but it was a cool added feature to this toy. It added playability to it, and I didn't mind it. It was charming to me. Now that's, a lot of times if you find this in the wild, is missing. Okay, so you have the lever that could be missing, broken off, the hand. Another thing, that the plastic, the type of plastic they use, see, the toenails are one solid piece, and they've got slots for the casters. This thing had wheels that you could roll it on the ground, but they used not such a great quality plastic on these toenails, and oftentimes you'll find that these have a lot of cracks in between and on the toenails themselves. Mine here is I have no cracks whatsoever. It's very clean. I'm fortunate to have this. It's a beautiful piece. Another thing that you might find with the tails, if it's not missing, that's something else that can come up missing. But if you have one with the tail, there's a lot of times too where the kid was popping it on, popping it on, popping it on, popping it off, and you'll start to get cracks along here. Okay, so if you find one and the tail's not broken, don't take it off to investigate. Just leave it alone. Okay, this thing's over 40 years old. All right, but there you have it. There is the Shogun Warrior Godzilla. This is the grail of my collection. Okay, is it the most realistic? No, not by any means, but it was made in 1978. It was the first U.S. endorsed toy for Godzilla. Okay, and he's charming as hell. I love this guy. You know, I can roll him around on his little casters there. I can shoot the fist. I can blow some atomic breath at you. And not to mention, he looks beautiful on the shelf. And that's what I do. I buy these toys that are nostalgic for me. It's a nostalgia. I put them on the shelf. I admired it, and it helps. It inspires me. So let's look at this guy to his most recent counterpart. Check this out. This is the Jakks 2014 Giant Godzilla. Okay, look at that tail. This guy is 2 feet tall and over 3 feet long. Okay, look at that tail. It actually it comes off when you got it. It came in like this. This is a huge box too that this thing came in. Huge box. This was something else that I had to buy. It was too impressive to pass up. I pre-ordered it. And like I said, when you get it, this is separate, so you have to pop that in, and then it just makes him one impressive, large toy, and I love big toys. The bigger the better. Alright, so 2014 Giant Godzilla, 1978 Shogun Godzilla. I will still take this one. But the detail on this, they really come such a long way, you know, and of course this is the reimagined Godzilla. It's, I guess, what we're gonna have to get used to seeing now with King Kong versus Godzilla that's coming up, and then the last two movies. But that's cool. But anyways, I hope you like checking this guy out. Maybe you learned something today, maybe you didn't. But so if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe and hit that bell. That bell is going to inform you when I upload another video. Check out my brothers in arms, the Trio of Terror, which is myself, Keith from Cobwebs and Candlesticks, and Vic Springston from Monster Misfits. If you built something, you want to share something, maybe you got a Shogun Godzilla you want to share, head on over to the Trio of Terror Facebook page and share with us, man. Nothing's held back there. We love to see it. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a safe and happy holiday. And until next time, peace.